Three moms, zero filters, all the chaos.
Welcome to Moms, Meltdowns, and probably Menopause.
Where motherhood gets real.
I'm Reagan.
I'm Ro.
And I'm Monica.
Let's talk.
When was your last mom meltdown?
Mine was probably yesterday. My oldest has a fascination with scissors, and I was cooking and I walked around the corner and he had scissors in his hand and I couldn't figure out what he was cutting. So, there's always that like, my dude, what were you doing with that? And it's that struggle of like figuring it out while trying to not lose your cool. But also like it was the end of the day. So like I was exhausted and I was in the middle of cooking dinner. There was that stress of getting everything done in time and trying to, get everything on the table. And then I'm trying to manage this crisis of what did you cut? What were you doing? Why were you doing that? Like we've had this conversation how many times and we're still having this conversation. So I didn't handle it gracefully.
What was he cutting?
I don't know. Still don't know.
Oh.
Couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
It wasn't hair.
No, nobody's hair got cut. So.
But do you think like meltdowns are linked usually to overstimulated? Like if you weren't cooking and
100%.
All that?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of mine are definitely linked to me being overstimulated and stretched too thin, which has translated to a lot of meltdowns in the recent weeks because this school year has been a mess.
And it's only September.
Shush, I don't want to think about that.
It is September.
Yes.
Yeah, she said it's only September.
Oh, I thought you said it's almost September.
No, it's only September.
Listen.
It's only September. But that's funny you say that because I think I'm having to be aware like what causes the meltdown more so like what are the things that like stack up for it to be a meltdown. For me, most of the time it's like when I'm juggling, they're not moving as fast as they need to move, or they're complaining. So recently they've just been, I think everyone's just tired and ready for a break. And so like everyone's hurt, like, oh, I'm hurting and my leg is hurting and we're doing this. And so like we're going to gymnastics and everyone's complaining. I'm listening. Okay, this one is hurt here. This one's hurt here. And then, but why are we complaining? I went full on like they're children with cancer and they wake up every day and they choose to do life. And you guys are whining because you have a paper cut. And
we really went
and
there.
Then I did. And then after that I had to like come back and be like, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, they're children with cancer and they wake up every day, and you guys are hurt and you're allowed to say you're hurt, but I think like we can't whine.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time, and that's why I asked you, like a lot of the time for me, it's what is the meltdown linked to? And most of the time it's that we're trying to go somewhere and you're not moving either as fast as you need to, or you're complaining, or I'm calculating we need to do this and that. And my head is like, I need dinner and all that. My response is not as curated as it should be. So I did have to apologize for telling them that, they're kids with cancer and they shouldn't whine when you're feeling some type of way. Your feelings are valid and everything. But I think for me was I need you to have thick skin a little bit because it could be worse. And I don't think, you realize that it could be worse. So I think it's, I told them, I said, hey guys, there's a part of life where there's certain pains and aches that we will have, but we have to go through life with it. Like it does not stop the world. So yes, I'm not the cancer patient at Children's Hospital Atlanta, but you need to be like a bit, thicker. And I think like our generation, we were told those things. We were.
How many kids in Africa?
There you go. You ate because there's a family that doesn't have food. Like you were thankful for that one shirt, even when you wanted two, because there's a family that does not have a shirt.
Yeah.
So I think with this new generation, I think they're like a little soft. So we kind of have to toughen, figure out how to toughen them before they're like, yeah, my mom said that we all have cancer. And it's the toughen part. They take things literal. Yes, I think they take things literal. Like,
can you imagine her three running around being like, my mama said we all have cancer?
Exactly. So God. I have to remember because they're kids and you just be like, okay, my mom's running her mouth.
Yeah.
But for them, it's, oh, how was your day? Yeah, last night, mommy, when we were going to gymnastics, said that we're complaining there. Kids who have cancer. Like, imagine them telling another adult that.
They're being literal.
Yeah, they're being literal. Not,
Yep.
So.
Oh, man. I showed you guys my calendar for
yesterday. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
And it involves the kids all the time. So my monthly visitor came yesterday, and I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do all of this? And I went to a field trip, and I was supposed to go to the school to pick up their lunch coolers. But because something happened with our whatever emailing system for the school was not working properly, I gave a thumbs up to kind of acknowledge I'm coming, but they didn't get the notification. So I'm running over there trying to get gas because D didn't put any gas inside the van, and I'm trying to time everything. Okay, am I the only person that does this? If I know I have to be somewhere by 9, then I'm like, okay, it's going to take me, I want to be there at least 5 minutes early, roll back. Okay, it's going to take me 15 minutes to get there, roll back. And then I still need to change, roll back. I still need to get the kids to this thing, roll back. I still need to make sure I pack up this, and that, and roll back.
Monica is looking at us like we're crazy because she's always late to everything.
I'm always rushing, and maybe that's part of the meltdown because I never roll back.
So like if I say I need to be there by 9, okay, I need to start getting ready by 7.
Okay.
Do everything backwards. So by the time I got to the school and I said, hi, I'm here to pick up the lunch coolers, and like all the teacher says, oh, they said because you didn't respond that they got another parent.
No.
I'm like, okay, and they'll see you at the museum. Okay. I'm thinking the museum's 15 minutes away. No, it's like 30. So I'm driving like a bat out of hell, trying to beat the school buses, which I know they're not even going to be there yet. But I'm driving, and I'm just pissed off at the same time because I planned everything around it, and it didn't come to what it was supposed to be. So then I'm doing all of this stuff for the kids. That's fine. And then I come home. No, I don't even come home. I go straight back to the school because I know that there's no point in me going home to rest for 5 minutes and going out the door again. So I'm sitting in car line, and I actually fall asleep in the car. I turned off the car though, so I didn't get carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But then I woke up because it was hot, pick up the kid, then we go home, and then I fall asleep because I'm just exhausted. So there was a funeral procession yesterday for one of the firefighters. So they, from the baseball field all the way to close to us. So Dee's like, I just left, and I'm not moving on the freeway. I'm like, oh, there's a procession. Did you not get an email from work saying, you guys should leave at a certain time? He's like, I think I did, but I just didn't think anything of it. There's a man for you. I was like, okay, well, here's the map. And it's pretty much how you get home.
Yeah.
And everything is in red. He's like, okay. So he calls me later. I'm still stuck in traffic. Can you guys meet me at a certain place so I can just go with the kids? Because now he's supposed to take all 3 kids, one to basketball in one city, and then they have to rush to go to our city for soccer. But because I have to go to the teenagers, whatchamacallit, I'm going to the school. I'm just like, oh my God, it's too much. I'm trying not to yell at him. He's like, can you guys just meet me here? Can you drive? Can you drive? I'm like, I'm trying not to drive. I have to go somewhere. I have to do something. Then I start going, this is why I didn't want you to put all the kids in all the sports and do all the things. And he's like, okay, I know, okay.
Yeah.
And he's only being nice because he knows the first 1 to 2 days of that time of the month, I am the Hulk.
Well, I mean, it's also really stressful for people who plan things out like me and you do when we are meticulous. Not Monica.
Definitely not me.
But when we are as meticulous as we are, it's really upsetting when you're relying on somebody who doesn't do that. Having somebody who is just more blasé about time management. My whole day is planned out perfectly. I have this amount of time to do what I need to do. If you ask me to do something else, I will lose my mind.
Because you have to reorganize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to be late now because of your poor planning.
It's the flow. I need things to flow properly. If you want that end result and to save your sanity, you plan things out.
Yeah.
So that.
But do you leave room? For that?
For error?
No, not even error. For you not to feel stressed out. I looked at her calendar, and her calendar had like driving times. What is this? Yeah, that's the point. So I will say I'm late. I'm not late. Let me say I reach at the time something needs to start.
Oh yeah, I beat Google.
Yes,
Google
but like
Maps.
she
That
has.
means you're late.
No, does not mean I'm late. I reach at the time it needs to start. But I was looking at her calendar and I'm like, it shows driving times. Oh,
Yeah.
from point A to point B is 5-minute driving time. So I feel
Do
like
you not calculate that into your time?
I calculate it, but I don't put it down. That's why I was asking. Do you think
I don't put anything down like
Like
Ro
Ro?
does.
Listen,
It's just up
that's
here.
on Apple. Okay,
Yeah.
it has that option.
Yeah,
I don't do
that
that.
was that
Okay,
was
'cause why? I was like, what is this? It's calculated down to the minute.
And see, I'm looking at it going, oh my gosh,
You love it.
what is this?
No, I was like, this is this. So do you think half of that, you know how we were talking about meltdowns, and yes, meltdowns come from like mom meltdowns come from you being overstimulated versus if you were just the day was going like you're supposed to. Do you think because you were that calculated, and of course your counterpart is not that calculated,
Probably.
so you're not leaving the room for,
Well,
I can call and be like, hey, can you meet me here?
I think what happens is when I plan things out, I plan, okay, this is my thing. Say for example, I know I need to go to Home Depot to get something for a project, but I also need to get lunch, and then I also need to go get my kid, but then I also need to pick up dry cleaning, which is probably like what a good schedule
Looks like.
looks like. Then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what is the most definite time stamp? It's I have to pick up my kid at this time, right? So then I will work around. First, I will look in my head and see, okay, how does the map look? So I will do. So I will
I'm not laughing. I'm taking it in.
I know I got to pick up the kid at, let's say, 2:30. Okay, so let's look at the map in my head. Okay, I can go to Home Depot first because there's multiple locations. I'll go to that location, pick up lunch on the way, and then go pick up the kid. And then the dry cleaning is closest to home, and I can pick that up. I don't like wasting gas. I don't like wasting time, because if I can get everything done, the faster I can get it done, the faster I can relax.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
see, mine's not even about relaxing. It's just efficiency.
And that too.
Like, why am I gonna waste time doing something that I could do?
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have it all in my head. I just don't plan it out. Like, I know what needs to get, like I'm sitting here and I know, okay, I need to do this and this and this, but I think I don't put it down to stress me enough. Like, I'm organized and I know the things I need to get done, and maybe that's why my head hurts. Because it's like the open tabs. It's like her shirt
right?
says,
Exactly.
it's like I have 50 open tabs, but like I haven't lined them up in the order of which they need to happen. Yes.
Yep.
So I think that's what it is. But I also think half of our stress is that because
I think we put too much
you're
on
putting
ourselves.
too much on yourself, and then you're putting too much on yourself with a time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say you come out and Google had said 5 minutes from point A to point B, and then there's an accident.
Yeah.
That messes you up completely for the rest of the day, which it shouldn't, because that wasn't
Out of your control.
yeah, it's out of your control. But I think it's because of being that curated, the life needs to work like this for me to either rest or.
Well, I mean, if there's a definite timeline, right? Like the other things, like I was saying, picking up the dry cleaning, getting lunch, going to Home Depot or whatever store, those I can be flexible with, and I give myself enough time. It's if I know I have to pick up my kid at this certain time, otherwise I gotta start paying $10 starting minute one. Then that's when I'm like, okay, this is how I need to plan it. But also, it is when I get things done. The faster I get things done, the faster I can relax. Because when I relax, I am the biggest, laziest. I will mold myself into my couch.
See, I can't sit down if I have something to do because my ADHD takes over real fast and I turn into a couch potato. Like, I'm done. If I sit down, I'm done. Like, that's it. Because the motivation that it takes to get me back off that couch,
But I can see the goal of, so my evenings are like that. Like I always tell people it's chaos, the 47 Alzheimer's unit. Like I feel like my kids
Did you just say
sundown.
Alzheimer's unit?
Yes. Like y'all don't have sundown my kids sundown, like 47. But I think I've had a friend come over and how do you do all this? I have rest. Rest is the end game.
Yes.
So I know at 7 o'clock, this house is very quiet. Everybody's asleep. So I work with the end game of that. And then also I think in this year, this is recently, my oldest, I was always so like, we gotta be at school at this hour. You have to be like the first person at your sports. But for me, I realized with that, I'm yelling a lot. And not because she's doing anything wrong or they're doing anything wrong, is because we're not meeting the standards I've put for myself. So now if you're late, where are they going to write it on your resume that you were tardy when you were in elementary school?
Right.
If you're not the first one at your extracurricular, it is okay. Like I've noticed recently, I'm yelling less because I've reduced the expectation a little bit. I'm not saying that it's perfect because, like I said, at the beginning of this statement, I told you what I said. But I think it helps because I think as moms, that is it. The issue is not the kids, because if we in a world when you meet people, you'll find people like, man, Rowena, your boys are exceptional. They're well behaved. They're this, and you look at them like, what are you talking about? But they are. But according to your standards, that's why they're not, because of what the expectations you have on them. Because we constantly hear, we go to teacher conferences, and your kids are the kids they should be. Like they're in church, they're the kids they should be. In sports, they are. But in your eyes, they're not, because they don't move the way they should.
Well, I also think that it's because of the fact that typically when your kids are with you, they're worse behaved than when they're with other people.
The Alzheimer's unit.
So like we are the ones that get the tantrums and the meltdowns and the talking back and the, I hate yous and all that. Like we get those. Like the teachers don't typically. I mean, that I'm not saying that the teachers never get that, because some of them do. But most of the time, I mean, the parents are the ones that shoulder that burden. And it's difficult because like we have our own big feelings and then they have their own big feelings, and working those two things out together it's hard.
Yeah. And then you have been put in if it's your time of the month. You've been put in if maybe you're sick that week. Like there's a lot. There's a lot you have to consider for a meltdown. But also I think giving yourself grace. We gotta give ourselves grace.
Yep.
A little bit more, because again, you're juggling such a huge schedule, or you're like all these things that you're trying to put together. And so I think we just gotta give ourselves a little bit of grace for the times that you do have that meltdown.
I ended up going to culinary school after I met Deshaun. But I think what it instilled in me is there's this thing called mise en place. So that is, I call it, well, the chef called it mess in place instead of mise en place. But it's literally getting everything together, right? And in order, chop everything, dice everything, slice everything, measure everything, so that the end result, so the process is smoother for your desired end result. I think that has stuck with me throughout the whole time, is especially when I kept getting pregnant and all these ginormous children kept popping out of me, is in order for me to keep my sanity, I need to be able to run my house smoothly before I literally have a mental and legitimate breakdown. Postpartum or
all
anything.
that,
all of that. So
Postpartum is
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh,
Sleep
girl.
deprivation, I have.
Yes.
Massively.
Sleep deprivation.
I still haven't slept since
They were born.
my firstborn is 29.
I had horrible postpartum depression. It got so bad. I ended up having like probably upwards of 5 to 6 panic attacks a day.
Oh no.
Before I was like, this can't keep happening. And I had to go get help. It was bad. Really.
But isn't the village there? That's for us, like our culture, we have a lot of people that are in your space. And you like it some days and you don't like it. But I always feel the reason I learned about postpartum when I came to the States. Like I never heard of it. It might have been happening when we were in Kenya, but I didn't hear it until here. But then when I look at it, it's because I feel like it's a mom and dad and new child.
Yeah.
Versus we back at home, it's like your auntie will come, or the college student, the high school student who didn't go to college, and they'll bring them to come over and help. There's so much of help in those first few weeks that you honestly cannot slip into that. I think that's what has helped. Let me say that. For me, that's what helped, because there's someone to cook. Because a lot of that pressure of postpartum comes from you're cooking and you come back. And, husbands are great. but they're also male species.
Well, mine had a job that he was not able to be, like, they were working him to death. And I was waking up while he was still asleep, and I was going to sleep before he was even home. So I was basically a single mom. And, like, honestly, I don't know how they do it, because
Oh my God.
they are rock stars. Let me tell you
These
something.
single
Single
moms.
moms are they're my heroes,
Goddesses.
I
because
agree.
oh my word, it was rough. And it helps, like, it leads to more overstimulation. And the overstimulation leads to more meltdowns. And then the more meltdowns you have, the more that your kids have, because, like, it's our job to teach them emotional regulation.
If you can't regulate your own,
And when we
how?
can't regulate our own emotions, they struggle to regulate their own emotions.
The youngest has, I don't know if I would call it meltdowns, but I'm going to call it meltdowns, or him just being super sensitive. So is there a difference between being super sensitive or having a meltdown? Because when I raise my voice at him, when I'm trying to get his attention, and it's for something that he has done that he knows he shouldn't have done, nothing major, nothing big.
Yeah.
But his eyes start to water up, his eyebrows go upwards towards the heavens, and he wipes his eyes, like you know he's
beginning to
he's
break
beginning
down.
to break down. And so then I catch myself and I have to say to him, listen, I'm not mad at you, but I want you to know what you did. What can we do better? And then we'll talk through the options or whatnot. And he does this a lot. I think he's trying not to upset me or disappoint me, but I don't want him to feel that I am the reason. I don't want him to act the way he's acting because he doesn't want to disappoint me. I want him to act the way he's acting
Because it's the right thing to do.
because it's the right thing to do. And I always tell my kids, make good decisions, but I want you to act good even when nobody is looking.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing to say, because that shows them the expectation that, like, you're not doing it to make mama happy. You're doing it because that's just what you should be doing in general. And I don't think that I would call that a meltdown. I think that is just being sensitive, because like, I think I would classify a meltdown as it being something that they did because they didn't get what they wanted, or because they got in trouble but not crying.
Oh, if that's the case, then my teenager is the only one that gets meltdowns.
You know, because, like, I think that crying is just...
That's his response. Their kids were generally softer.
Yeah, an expression of guilt. Like, I think that's just his way of, like, being apologetic. Now, I think that meltdowns are when you get onto your child and they scream they hate you, i.e. my oldest, and run down the hall and slam their door. Like, slamming the door to his bedroom is actually going to hurt me in some way. But, you know, like, that is a meltdown in my eyes.
And I think for that, like that example, maybe it's just him knowing the balance. There's times also we're not going to use tears, because I can see the meltdown being like you're using the tears. There are kids who are maybe not vocal all the time, but then every time there's a situation, your tears are coming. I'm like, okay, there's a thin line between I'm reacting this way because either I'm heartbroken or maybe I'm crying because I disappointed you. I can see it. I've disappointed you. Or if I cry and you see this emotion, I'm going to get you off of this like ledge that you're on, because you're going to be like, oh my God, the baby's crying. And so
That's manipulation.
yeah, so I think that's it. I think it's knowing the line. And I've had to say that, hey, and I always tell people I was a gangster child. I did not cry. So I had a gangster ma'am because I was a gangster child. I was tough, but I also have...
We would never know that.
But I also know I have softer kids. Like, so I have softer kids. So I have to remember that, hey, it's okay to cry versus why you cry. I'm gonna do something if you keep crying. Like, again, generation differences, but I also tell them now that, hey, you can't use your tears to get your way. You know,
I do.
And then you wonder why.
And you wonder
your youngest does it.
I mean, towards Deshaun.
He's seeing what you're doing. But yeah, so I think it's the fine line, because they're kids who are like, as soon as it happens, they're remorseful, and the tears is the way. You know, there's a kid who'll be like, let me clean the house to apologize.
I like those kind of kids.
Like, can I get like 6 of
That's
those?
my middle one.
Yeah, so I think it's that. But honestly, I just think that we're doing too much, and we're doing too much by ourselves.
Yes. I agree.
We're doing too much
But then,
by ourselves.
okay, even though you say that, I also have the mentality of if you're not doing it right, I might as well do it myself.
Amen.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
But is that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're doing too much by ourselves because, we just talked about there are people who are single parents, right?
Yes.
You're by yourself. So you're doing everything because you're by yourself. But I think sometimes we just don't allow, and let me not even say like the village, we don't even allow our spouses to come in.
Yeah.
Like they could do it. Yes, they could go to the doctor's appointment and they're like, when is the date of birth of this child? Like, give me 1 second. Let me call
ask
them
my
mom.
wife. Yeah.
Yes, you were there when they were born.
Right.
But again, did they go to the doctor's appointment? Yes. Did they tell them like, hey, can we give this child medicine? Hold on 1 second. Let me call my wife. Again, but did they go to the doctor's appointment? Yes.
Well, I think it's also because I was a single mom for a little bit.
Okay.
And so I was used to doing everything. So I set in my ways and I know what I wanted. I know how I wanted it done. I know when I wanted it done. And I think it came down to the only person you could be disappointed in is yourself.
Oh, it's yourself.
Who you can trust enough to do it. The only
Because
person that
I'm
you
gonna
can be
be-
disappointed in.
Yes. And so that is how I was living for a while.
You know, I get it.
So then when you do meet somebody and you start having kids with them and then, you're building your family up and you don't want to have all this responsibility, not responsibility, but you don't want to take on everything yourself because you are a family and you made a family with this other person and you should include them in all the things.
Yeah, keyword, include them.
Yes. But you're so accustomed to the lifestyle beforehand, getting things done yourself so that you expect an outcome. You created that outcome. You can be proud of that outcome, but now it's somebody else's inside in that atmosphere, and they're not doing it the way that you would probably do it, and so you get upset. And I think that's where it comes to me as, oh my gosh, why didn't you take out the chicken when I asked you to before we left so that it could be defrosted by the time we come home? That's kind of like what my mama used to do. Make sure you cook rice.
It's
I can
done.
start cooking dinner.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
then those days that you forgot.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or you hear them pulling up the driveway.
I know you're right.
You ask your siblings, oh my God, did anybody cook rice? No, did you? I thought you did. No, I thought you did. But I think it's that. And it's a messed up thing is because Deshaun jokes with them a lot too about it. This 11-year-old, he'll tell his older brother, don't get mom mad. I think she's on her period.
Oh my God.
And the way I want to throw my slippers at them.
100%. Oh, yeah, because especially when they're right, you're already hormonal and not thinking with the right headspace.
But they're boys saying
But they also
Oh, I
boy.
know. I know.
The audacity.
I know, right?
that
You
must
only
be
knew.
different.
So that's how I have my meltdowns with my kids is when they start saying stuff like that. And I want to laugh. Two, I also want to throw a slipper, a very soft slipper, but nonetheless throw a slipper and chuck it across the room to maybe hit their ankle or something. But then the boys find it funny, so they keep egging me on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
I'm
it's
just
yeah,
like,
it doesn't.
if you were only girls and you knew the pains that we went through since
Yeah.
starting, in your teens, and it just continues
You
for
know,
the rest
just
of your life.
punch one of them in the kidney.
I mean,
Take out the kidney because
I'm
they have the
totally
right one.
kidding.
but
I mean,
listen, I don't got to do that because all three of them punch each other
Why? If
Punch
you
each
knew
other
that
there.
pain, why would you purposefully do it? No.
Because they
absolutely
know.
because
not.
boys are boys.
Absolutely not.
Because the other side, and I always say, you have boys who fight, and then you have the girls. Recently, that's where I'm like, okay, y'all are gonna drive me crazy. The bickering, and I wasn't raised with sisters. Don't have sisters. The bickering, I can't. I just be like, I'm gonna fight somebody because of the bickering. But I think it's, boys will fight, and then girls don't look at me. You're breathing my air. But honestly, going back, like, what do you think would help for your situation reduce the meltdown or the frequency of
my
the meltdown?
meltdowns.
Yes.
I don't know because I think that's how I've been for the longest time. Listen, I am a Virgo. I will blame it on the time I was born. I am a Virgo. I take care of people. I think that gives me joy too. It does give me
Joy too. Okay.
but it also stresses me out. I think I am what do they call it, Reagan? High functioning anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can see that, and then maybe also that there's always two ways. Might be like, oh, let me help you, and then when he reduces everything, I'm like, man, you took out the things that give me joy, because also like taking care of the kids gives me joy. I was telling someone just the other day, oh, let him do all these car runs and stuff. No, I actually actually enjoy being the
Yeah.
bus driver. This is the life I wanted. The way
It's
it
the life
looks
we
like,
chose.
this is the
Mhm.
life this is the life that I wanted. There's just sometimes when I'm frustrated, when I'm just, what is this? But for the most part, if someone was to take that away, then what am I
gonna
doing?
do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what am I doing as a mom? Like I do like to be involved in their school. I do like to go to all the field trips, even if he doesn't. I actually, I don't put the credit like I went to 2 field trips and you didn't. Like I
Yeah.
want to sign up for everything.
Yeah.
But so I think it's just when maybe we're tired, that's when this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like unfair to the other person because I want to check in and reduce some of this load, but you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
And it's
enjoy
hard to
this
take
load.
something that,
Yeah.
because that's just harmful in the end if they start taking it from you.
Yeah.
Because then how am I supposed to get my joy now? Like, you took that away from me. But at the same time, like the things that do tend to stress us out and bring us the most anxiety, they don't want to take because it stresses them out as well.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets difficult because, there are certain things that neither one of you want to do.
But I think it's the balance. So what is the balance? Finding the balance between I like doing this stuff, but I need to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
So to whatever that village looks like, if it's your spouse or your friends,
Mhm.
being able to communicate that, hey, this week is not going the way it's supposed to. Do you
Yeah.
guys mind helping? Or I normally would naturally, you're the one on car line because, we're at home.
Mhm.
This week is just the way I'm feeling, the way it's going. Can you tag in? So I
Yeah.
think just being better at communicating because you don't want it off your plate. You actually enjoy it being on your plate, but being able to communicate, like.
But sometimes I could do this, and then you ask your significant other, can you do this for the kids? Because I have so much. I can't, I'm working. You can't really argue against
I'm working.
I'm working. That falls back on you again. And the stress is just,
And it just piles up.
it does.
Yeah, I get it.
It does.
I just thought about something when you said that. Do you have some level of trust because again, we keep going back to we are tired because 2 people are doing this job, right? Or for the single mom who's one person doing that job or single dad, one person doing the job. Do you think that our generation has an issue with trust with other people? Like your kids do extracurricular. There are moms in that team who you could like combine forces.
I could, but I won't.
She doesn't trust them.
Okay.
There's my answer. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't,
But I agree with her. I don't care how much I know you. I don't know you.
But you know me. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you two are different. At the end of the day, I don't know who you would be bringing my kid around.
Mhm.
And I think that's another big part of it. Like, even if I did trust somebody implicitly,
There's
there
still
are
that
other
worry.
people that are going to be around that person that I don't
No,
know.
not even homes. Like take it away from the house, right? Because of course that takes like extra.
You just mean
help.
like
I
picking
mean
them
like
up, dropping
picking up
them
like
off.
like we were talking
to
about schedules
extracurricular,
and
yeah.
extracurricular. Like there's 3 moms going to that same basketball game. Of those 3 moms, probably like 2 leave from the same direction.
Yeah.
Again, our generation has whatever issue
Mhm.
because a couple years ago when we were little, don't come in until the lights.
A couple of years ago
okay.
when we were little.
Decades ago.
You know what I mean? Don't come home until the lights come on.
Yeah.
There was a trust of someone.
Yeah.
It wasn't a trust linked to have I done your background check?
Or was it a trust of someone, or was it just a lack of
Knowing all the bad things that were happening.
Or
That's
yeah,
what it is.
but also I think
there was also less then too. I feel like it's gotten a lot
No.
worse.
I think it was, we just didn't know much
we didn't
about
know
it.
much about
maybe.
it because my mom says like there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new.
Well, no, I know
the issues
that.
might be different.
I just think that the intensity of them has increased. You
Maybe
know what I'm
the-
saying?
maybe-
Like there are more incidences now
Mhm.
than there were. Because trust me, I know that they were there.
Mhm.
I feel like the amount of it happening
Constantly with
has
kids.
gotten bigger.
But I think that again, I think we go back to trust. And I'm saying it's different. I'm very different who comes to our house. I'm very different with one, my kids don't do sleepovers, period.
Amen.
I don't.
But outside of, hey, Reagan, can you hold my kid at the school for 2 minutes? That doesn't
Mhm.
require a background check. that required me knowing you for a year plus.
Yep.
You get, so I think
For small things like
for
that.
small
Yeah,
things.
100%.
But
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that there's also, extracurriculars like you were talking about. I feel like we also have an expectation on ourselves that we should be present for everything that they
Ding ding.
do. And if we pass it off and say, hey, can you take my child to XYZ, but you're not present, you're like, well, what am I doing wrong?
So that's it.
Why is this? Why are they there, but I'm not?
So that's it.
It is.
It's the guilt. It's
It
the
is.
guilt that you're not the one doing it all and driving all. I think that's what it is linked to Rowena. It's like, I just said
Linked to
Rowena.
me?
No, like linked. That's what it is. Like to
She's
your
just saying that-
situation is
that it might be less of a lack of trust and more of a
mom.
sense of mom guilt
Mhm.
that you should be there also.
Like if I give mom A to drop my kid and I go take a nap, wow, mom A can actually be at the basketball game for the whole hour and I'm taking a nap. But then you're forgetting maybe mom A for that
Took a
day
nap.
took a nap
2 hours
2 hours
earlier, yeah.
earlier. So I think it's we are stuck. We're in meltdowns and we're stuck in this circus because we are trying to be whenever we go somewhere and they're gonna start giving like Nobel Peace Prizes for Mom of the Year.
I ain't getting it.
Hint, hint. Like based on all the activities you do and how present you are, and I think
I won't be getting it, but that's all right.
Yeah, but I mean, like I think that's
I'll
how
sit in the background.
we
I'll cheer for
function.
who gets it.
I'm coming for the catering.
Yeah, like I think we function as if that's the standard. The standard is like, because you look where there are people who are working moms, but then they're still trying to be the mom who's everywhere. But you can't. I don't think you can completely have both. So at some point, you have to rely on someone. You're gonna rely either on your spouse, or you're gonna rely on your friends, or you're gonna rely on the new mom that you don't know at some activity.
Yeah.
And I think it's as little as, hey, I'm running late, because there was a traffic on the road and I'm running late. Can you hold that child for 20 minutes? Versus, oh my God, now basketball is over or soccer's over and I'm not going to make it on time. Now I'm calling everybody, call the police, sound the alarm. But there's a mom there who could have waited 5 extra minutes. They didn't even need to drive. That's less stress.